But you can rest assured that based on the investigation we've done, the text messages we have, the receipts that'll go along with that complaint, she's dead in the water.
Blake Lively was such a brat that her and Ryan Reynolds specifically requested during the premiere that they so did not want him to attend.
Which is just an example of how she loves to play the victim. And then the one about, he burst in on me uninvited when I was breastfeeding my child. That she says we should run lines together. He's like, anytime. And she's like, come on over. I'm breastfeeding the baby in the trailer, but come on over.
A single court hearing may shatter a Hollywood reputation overnight, especially when frightening discoveries start trickling into social media. In this case, the person at the core of the tempest is none other than Blake Lively, a prominent actress, noted for her glossy style and purportedly squeaky clean reputation. Yet fresh disclosures hint there may be a lot more going on behind that polished shell. Megyn Kelly, known for her cutting approach to controversy, claims to have unearthed ironclad documentation indicating how Lively allegedly manipulated the facts regarding her experiences on the set of It Ends With Us. Fans and commentators alike are making similarities to Amber Heard's notorious defamation case with Johnny Depp, wondering if we're witnessing a rerun to that spectacle. However, the stakes reach far beyond a he said, she said. Lively stands accused of pressuring a director, framing intimate encounters as harassment, and weaponizing her massive celebrity connections. Meanwhile, her followers think it's all part of a smear attempt meant to tear down a prominent lady in Hollywood. In the constantly increasing digital world, where one leaked text may destroy an entire career, the dilemma becomes, is Blake Lively the genuine puppet master, or a victim stuck in a storm of rumors she can't control? By the conclusion of this deep dive, you'll have more than enough alarming details to decide for yourself. So belt in. The deeper we go, the more twisted this web of claims becomes. The origins of this narrative date back to a much-anticipated adaptation of Colleen Hoover's novel, It Ends With Us. Producers hired Blake Lively to appear and picked actor-director Justin Baldoni to helm the picture. Both are fan favorites, renowned for their social media presence and nice images. But practically from day one, rumblings of discord surfaced.
As often happens when these stars drop a movie, people start digging around for other interviews of them, etc. And it was just sort of a course of, wow, like, she seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean.
But he would, so he'd suddenly start filming my hands or my feet. But what was interesting is that to him in that moment, my hands were telling so much more of the story than my face. And I had to be so much more, it was sort of chicken or the egg. I don't know if I was more alive and awake as an actor, because every part of me was up for grabs while he's filming. My mom will call 7 times in a row. She's that person. She's the one who thinks that like on time 6, she just like didn't see that she was calling. So she's just gonna keep calling.
Anonymous crew members first disseminated charges regarding Lively's influence overshadowing Baldoni's leadership. Lively allegedly rejected clothing, demanded script permission, and insisted on her name being mentioned in marketing. Tensions increased when Lively accused Baldoni of impropriety, painting the set as poisoned. As Megyn Kelly teased proof of Lively's charges being inaccurate, the story gathered traction. Kelly alluded to text chats and emails that may show Lively, which sparked suspicion. The New York Times also released chosen chunks of these manuscripts, showing Baldoni negatively. Critics accused the Times of defending Lively's image, while others believed it was only conveying the facts.
I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have, because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
The iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you now.
She has made herself into the new Amber Heard, and he is the new Johnny Depp.
Wait, I'm sorry. Blake Lively comparing herself to Khaleesi has to be one of the wildest cases of self-fulfilling prophecy I've seen to date. Like, everyone's making fun of her for saying that, but what's more Khaleesi than being a once beloved public figure who stood to win it all and lost it in a fiery rage? Like, no, like, it is giving twin. She's absolutely accurate. And just like in Game of Thrones, in the end, those dragons did not mean.
Megyn Kelly blasted back with media outlets, accusing them of purposely distorting text conversations, rearranging emojis, and taking out important words that placed Blake Lively's actions in context. She asked the complete chain of events be disclosed, Noting the conversations contradicted Lively's public claims about feeling afraid. The issue intensified on social media, with hashtags like Schwer Justice for Baldoni and Schwer Team Lively dominating. When the leaked materials surfaced, discrepancies were clear. Lively's complaints about Justin Baldoni violating her personal space contradicted messages showing her contacting him to check on a scheduling issue. Critics argued Lively may have fabricated events to suit her objective.
Blake Lively was no victim here. She was in control, she was in power, and she took over this film.
They literally were moving text in between text and emojis to sort of make it sound worse.
And she was such a brat that she wanted to control every scene, wanted to see all the dailies, wanted to do her own cut and did her own cut of the movie. All this is very unusual for just an actress in the film, even if she's the lead. And that she's now tried to turn this whole thing into a PR victory for her to get past what appears to be the fact that she is an egotistical bully.
Documents actually don't lie. People do. And it's important that everyone sees all of the documents that are involved in the case, because there are people that have been destroyed as a result of the allegations that have been made so far in this case.
Blake Lively may have felt pressured despite her seeming kindness, learning the hurt only afterward. The concern remains, how many contradictions exist between the leaks and her public statements? As the media shouted, one thing became clear. Lively wasn't conducting this war alone. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, not only a fan-favorite actor, but a smart businessman, allegedly backed her behind the scenes. Whispers stated he used his influence to coerce Baldoni from releasing some creative constraints, including threatening to withhold cash or harm promotional chances for It Ends With Us. Next, Taylor Swift, a close friend of the duo, allegedly got involved. Some ideas claim Lively linked Swift and Reynolds to dragons under her authority, evocative of Game of Thrones. This star-packed cooperation prompted questions. Was it a stand against wrongdoing, or a display of celebrity strength to corner Baldoni into submission?
She used these allegations of and she used these allegations of bullying to try and leverage her position so she could be the de facto director.
Because when that, because so often we see births in movies and TV and they just look so fake. It's like a 3-month-old baby that comes out of, and I just wanted it to feel very real.
And now he's going full Johnny Depp on her to show that she was the bully. She was the one harassing him. And this guy who had, comparatively very little power was forced now to come out and tell the truth about Blake Lively.
This movie is going to affect people and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for my address or my phone number or my location share? Or I could just location share you and then we could...
Multiple individuals believe Blake Lively snuck into the editing process after hours, frequently alongside Ryan Reynolds, to rewrite It Ends alongside us to her own vision. Everything from scene sequence to music choices apparently had her personal review. If correct, this would be an unexpected deviation from conventional filmmaking method, when the final cut resides with directors, producers, or the corporation. Upon seeing these private editing sessions, Justin Baldoni was outraged, feeling his professional work had been compromised. Some staff allegedly stated Lively threatened to skip promotional activities until her version was pushed. Tensions reached a breaking point during the premiere, where Baldoni and his entourage were reportedly blocked from the main event and transferred to a basement section. This led to public claims of Lively controlling the project, marginalizing Baldoni, and generating a problematic narrative. Another charge involves Baldoni purportedly fat-shaming Lively, which he refuted, noting the requirement for body measures in physically demanding performances.
He showed her a still shot from his wife's delivery of their child, which I've also seen. You can't see any R-rated parts at all. It's actually a really lovely artistic photo.
The chemistry with Justin also was off the chart. And Blake, you always have a vision. So talk to me about how sometimes you were even the intimacy coordinator in some of those sexier scenes. Like we saw you.
That shouldn't be happening, by the way. I just want to be clear that you should not be the intimacy coordinator. You should definitely hire intimacy coordinators, which we did have.
For an executive producer to have a competing cut of a film is incredibly bizarre. But when she starts threatening people and saying, I'm not going to promote the film, I'm not going to do anything unless you use my cut, that's when it starts to be awfully incendiary.
But then you turned around and you were just as supportive of Ryan.
Yeah.
What is it like to...
And my hair care company, Blake Brown, my goodness gracious. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy week.
The intimacy coordinator controversy strikes a similar chord. Lively's claim argues the production forgot to employ a professional coordinator for intimate moments, alleging that she felt pushed and exposed. Yet taped interviews show her appreciating the team's scrupulous attention of sensitive information. In one case, Lively expressly underlined how relieved she was to have experienced aid on stage. Now she swears there was none. Could there be a normal gap in recall? Or is she retrospectively modifying the account to support her legal claims? These differences are essential because they affect how both fans and the justice system perceive Lively's dependability. If she's caught in frequent inaccuracies, whether intended or not, it confirms the allegation that she's manipulating events to feel victimized. On the flip hand, her admirers argue that events on set may grow rapidly. Maybe an intimacy coordinator was present for certain photos and missing during others. The farther you investigate, the murkier the facts grow. Once the negative disclosures reached a fever pitch, Blake Lively obtained a gag order trying to block more exposés from Justin Baldoni's company. Gag orders, while not rare in high-stakes court conflicts, can raise public mistrust, especially when one party had previously benefited from stolen information that depicted the other side in an unfavorable light. Critics allege Lively only obtained a gag order when fresh leaks surfaced that verified Baldoni's account of events, calling it an evident effort to bury contradictory information. From Lively's side, though, the action seems reasonable if she believes Baldoni or Megyn Kelly retain messages and recordings that may be misunderstood, or if she concerns sensitive details about her family will go public. She'd have every motivation to seek safety. Lawsuits are unpleasant, and when the public establishes a perspective, it's famously challenging to refute that narrative. In consequence, Lively's team might see a gag order as the best way to keep the problem from spinning further out of hand.
I'm not getting weird on you today.
I'm probably getting a spray tan on you. Well, it's not that. It's my body.
Now that she's had her shot against him and she's severely damaged him with that New York Times piece and this complaint, which she managed to get leaked, now she wants a complete gag order. Poor Blake. Why should Justin be able to release snippets to the media without the full context? That's what she said. That's what she did.
I think we should be talking.
Ryan, go to the bar, Ryan. Go to the bar.
If we're like fan friend.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Toss in Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, and you have the makings of a Hollywood epic repeat with hidden edits, powerhouse alliances. With constant conjecture over who's truly in control at this time, it's hard to determine the ultimate outcome. A gag order might slow the flood of new leaks, leaving fans to fight parts of incomplete information until the courts make a resolution. Conversely, if new damaging communications surface, Lively's reputation may decline further, potentially signifying a turning point in how the business responds to star-driven concerns. Conversely, should new context prove Lively's side of the story, Baldoni might find himself cast as the villain in the public eye. The stakes for both of them, personally and professionally, couldn't be higher in the end. This scandal points to a broader truth behind Hollywood's polished facade lies a world of strategic power, plays hidden alliances and reputations built on carefully curated images. Sometimes the only difference between a revered star and a troubled person is the spin on a few of text messages. Can Blake Lively's carefully cultivated persona withstand the barrage of contradictory information? Or will this be the moment that topples one of Hollywood's golden reputations for now? The final decision belongs in both the courtroom and the court of public opinion. And as we've learned from recent high-profile sagas, public sentiment can shift in the blink of an eye. Ultimately, you get to choose whom to believe, and which side of the tale appears more plausible. Blake Lively's followers strongly reject any wrongdoing, while skeptics believe we're seeing a Hollywood celebrity caught red-handed in a cleverly spun tale. We may not know the complete truth until additional proof or a court verdict comes, but one thing is clear: in today's world, secrets seldom remain hidden for long.